Hello YouTube universe, this is Hydra Ninja 9 and today we're going to be talking about Patreon. That is the demon that, well, the so-called demon that everyone says it to be. It's not really a demon. Let's get this straight. Patreon is not a demon unless if you make it so. It's just a service, and the YouTubers who use it as of right now are not greedy twats. There are some... It's very hard to defend Patreon or attack Patreon because it's really always in the conditional. Because, you know, for example, I wouldn't want Chris Perillo to do this, but Chris Perillo could say, oh hey, I'm gonna charge you $1,000 per month on Patreon, that kind of level, to see the full content of my videos. I'm just gonna have a black bar or something, or a blacked out portion with audio only, or just with nothing, saying only for Patreon. Chris Perillo could technically do that, but do you think he'd want to do that? At what point would anyone who is not a greedy twat want to do that? And that's the thing, because so long as Patreon doesn't impede on a YouTuber's content creation like that, like actually make their videos, you know, blacked out or remove certain videos, so long as it isn't like that, if there's certain special videos or something like that you only give to Patreon subscribers, I don't know what you call them, subscribers, payment, whatever. If you have certain videos that you just give to those, and that's fine. That's not bad at all. But if you're like censoring videos, or like, you know, only showing portions of videos, stuff like that, and just then you're greedy twat, then Patreon is bad. However, no one as of right now, as of this video recording, as of right now, there's no one I've seen that has ever done something like this. There are people who I believe have charged a bit too much for Patreon, you know, rankings or whatever they're called, whatever those Patreon rankings, like, you know, 1,000 to 200 different payment rankings. Some people I believe charge a bit too much, but honestly, there's nobody that's going to be willing to pay $5,000 a month for whatever tech content. There really isn't. But so long as your content isn't impeded by the monetary process, you can do that, because a lot of people, especially people, and well, YouTubers, really, YouTubers who make YouTube their full-time job, they really can't survive on AdSense alone. Unfortunately, it's a myth. It's a myth that anyone besides the highest of the high can get a job on YouTube, because it's simply impossible. You cannot like make a good living, because you have to constantly produce videos, constantly produce content, constantly, you know, make sure your equipment is good. There's a lot of stuff involved, and then to just rely on AdSense, you cannot do that. And a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers like Lamar Wilson has said before that his AdSense cannot pay, I think it was like a month, it couldn't pay a month of his apartment rent. Maybe a year, it probably couldn't pay that either. It's a very small amount of YouTubers' revenue. The majority of YouTube revenue comes from affiliate links, comes from, you know, working with other companies for their products, advertising on channels, on video, like a second advertisement, like what Techno Buffalo does, all this other stuff. And that's how you make YouTube your full-time job, because you can't just rely on AdSense. And essentially Patreon is just another form of that, because people can be just as bad as with all the other things. They can be just as bad with like affiliate links, like, you know, a person's Twitter could just be like filled with Amazon affiliate links. A person's video could be filled with advertisements of other companies in just like 1 minute of actual content. There are some people that do this. I'm not going to name names, but there's some people who I believe their videos are a bit too short for the advertisements the in-video advertisements that they put on the video, but you know, it's their channel. So really, Patreon is, all these other things can be just as bad as Patreon. However, no one is demonizing affiliate links, no one is demonizing advertisement, no one is demonizing anything else that YouTubers do, because that's already been done. This is something new, and people see that, oh, Chris Perillo is charging $5,000 a month. That's 60,000 per year. Oh my gosh, he must be making a fortune. No, he's not. He's not making a fortune off of Patreon. He's just giving some extra content for dedicated fans. Like, I think Patreon is becoming more, like, really demonized against, because I've seen this happen with, when, I think it was like 2010 or 2009, when YouTubers started getting the ability to advertise. It was somewhere around then. I didn't use YouTube too much back then, but I do remember a bit of outrage over the advertising when it first came about. I'm probably like really wrong on my dates there, but I remember that outrage, and now it's perfectly fine to have a ad outside your video. So this thing is going to take a bit of time to get used to, but it certainly is there, and people can certainly be greedy with it like any other payment system, any other extra payment. Even people can be greedy about AdSense too. But like, people will realize, YouTube, whoever subscribed to you, if you become greedy, people will realize that you're becoming greedy, and they will probably unsubscribe, and you'll probably lose money. So in a way, the system like kind of filters out the greedy people, because you can realize sometimes you can't, because it's really, you know, like, it's a bit subtle, but a lot of times you can. You know, if you see like a big black screen at the end of someone's video saying only for Patreon video subscribers, if you want to see the rest of this video, go and pay money to me now. And also there's this tip jar thing. I know this video is about Patreon, but there's this tip jar thing that a lot of people are going crazy about. Like, it's already being done. Patreon is the same thing. You're just paying on a monthly basis instead of randomly paying. So it's just another way to gain money. And you know, some people are gonna be like, you know, some people are gonna be greedy about it, and that's just the way the world works. People are gonna be greedy, some people are not gonna be greedy, and you kind of just need to know, because it's very hard to explain this, but you kind of just need to know who's greedy and who's not, and just go ahead with your ways and unsubscribe whoever is and subscribe to whoever's not. Just, hopefully, I'm being optimistic about this one. I usually am not, but hopefully YouTube doesn't turn out to be just about money. I really wouldn't like that to happen, but there's a possibility. There always is, but you know, just hope for the best, I guess. And we'll see what happens to Patreon and all this. But anyway, guys, that's a topic for another video. Well, at least YouTube tip jars is. But I'll see you guys next time.